Most people think cold kills quickly. It doesn't. Cold is methodical. It removes heat slowly until your body can no longer replace what it's losing. In many cases, the difference between survival and collapse comes down to something deceptively simple: what you're wearing. Today, we're not talking about comfort. We're talking about heat transfer and survival. There's a common assumption: thicker clothing equals better protection. It feels logical. It feels right. But in cold environments, intuition is often wrong. Because the real question isn't, how warm is this material? The real question is, how does this material behave when conditions change? When wind increases? When your body sweats? When fabric gets wet? That's where survival is decided. Your body survives by maintaining core temperature around 37 degrees Celsius. Heat is constantly leaving your body in three primary ways. Conduction, direct transfer of heat to colder surfaces. Convection, heat carried away by moving air or water. Evaporation, heat loss as moisture turns into vapor. In cold environments, these forces are always active. You are always losing heat. The only question is, how fast? Clothing doesn't create warmth. It slows heat loss. It acts as a barrier, a controlled resistance between your body and the environment. But not all materials resist heat loss equally, and some accelerate it. Let's reduce this to something measurable. 3 identical setups, each exposed to the same cold conditions. Inside each a heat source representing body warmth, each wrapped in a different material: cotton, wool, synthetic fabric. At first, the difference is minimal, but then we introduce moisture. Because in real conditions, you don't stay dry. You sweat. Snow melts. Rain happens. Now the results begin to separate. Cotton absorbs water and holds it. That water becomes a conductor. Instead of trapping heat, cotton begins transferring it away from the body. Wool behaves differently. It retains structure. It traps air, even when wet. Synthetic materials go further. They resist water, maintaining insulation. The outcome is clear. The material determines the rate of heat loss. Cotton fails for one reason: it changes state under stress. Dry cotton can insulate moderately well, but survival conditions are not dry. When wet, cotton collapses as an insulator. It loses trapped air. It increases conductive heat transfer. It accelerates evaporation. In effect, it turns your clothing into a cooling system. And the danger is subtle. You don't feel the loss immediately. You feel cold, but manageable, until your core temperature begins to drop. And by the time you recognize the severity, your decision-making is already impaired. The real lesson isn't about cotton. It's about systems thinking. Survival is not about reacting to discomfort. It's about managing variables before they become threats. Moisture is a variable. Wind is a variable. Material behavior is a variable. Your role is not to stay warm. Your role is to control heat loss over time. That requires anticipation, adjusting layers before sweating, preventing moisture buildup, choosing materials based on function, not feeling. Because once heat loss accelerates, recovery becomes exponentially harder. Cold environments don't forgive misunderstanding. They don't respond to effort. They respond to physics. And physics is predictable. The difference between control and collapse isn't strength. It's awareness. Understanding what's happening before you can feel it. Because in the cold, you don't lose heat all at once. You lose it gradually, until you can't get it back. In survival, the smallest decisions carry the longest consequences. and physics is always keeping score. The only question is whether you are paying attention.